Thank you for watching How to Play Manipulation. This is Danny.
This is Ali.
Before we start the game demonstration, first have a look at the game pieces. We're using vintage pieces. The new ones are fresher, like the colours on the website. Each piece is made up of two diagonal halves. Each half is a different colour and pattern. Note the white part circle.
The pieces join up, forming squares of the same colour, making sure the white part circles touch.
During this video, we're going to call this colour blue because it's blue around the outside. And this colour, we'll call this colour yellow.
And this colour we'll call orange, but you can call it red if you want to.
The aim of the game is to, in turns, place all of the pieces. When you play competitively, the winner will be the player with the most counters. Before we start the demonstration of actually playing the game, we'll show you how to place the pieces and how to manipulate them.
There are two ways of placing the pieces, as a single and as a double. When you place a single piece, it must go into a right angle so that it touches on two sides and the colours match, either completing a square or it could just touch on two sides like this. If the colours match and it's a right angle, it's okay.
Or, the other way is to place two pieces together as a double. The two pieces must form half a square and must fit onto the base pattern to make a complete square.
If you can't place your piece or pieces, you can swap or manipulate them to create the right coloured space. Like this.
You can also manipulate base pieces to create the right colour position, like this. If the colours match and it touches on two sides, it's okay.
Another way of manipulating pieces, say I'm trying to find a space to put this yellow and purple piece, I could move a double, like that, moving it here where it creates a right angled space where the yellow and purple fits.
You can swap base pieces with each other as long as they come from right angles to create a space where your piece can go.
We should just mention the game etiquette. Sometimes when you're playing, you get the same colours next to each other, like the two yellows here. None of the pieces are the same colour in both halves, so it's good practice to make the position playable if you can, by doing a swap, even if you don't get to place one of your pieces.
If you still can't place your piece after you've tried some swapping or manipulation, you pass the unplaced piece and a counter to the next player. The more pieces you can't place, the more counters you pass. The winner is the player with the most counters when all the pieces have been placed.
Now we'll play manipulation. For your first game, prepare a base pattern of 12 pieces like this. While you're just starting out, you can make it easier by giving yourselves more swapping possibilities. As you know now, you need right angles for placing your piece, and you need pieces that come from a right angle for swapping with, and you're more likely to get that if you start off with 12 pieces in your base.
It shouldn't take you long before you feel comfortable with starting off with a base of 7 pieces, like this, as the rules say. It's more challenging as there are fewer options for swapping.
So, for your first game, you've prepared a base of 12 pieces. All the other pieces should be face down, and every player should have an equal number of counters each. We're using dried beans. You can do the same, or you may have your own collection of objects that are lovely to handle, like shells, beads, or buttons.
The first player turns over a piece and tries to place it. There's no official time limit on how long your turn is. That turn was quite easy.
Now I take my turn. I've got an orange and brown, so I'm looking for ways I can swap either a brown or swap an orange, as there's no brown or orange right angles to put it in. There's nothing I can do, so I'm going to have to give Danny this piece and one of my counters.
I'll turn over this one. A green and brown. I can make a double brown and get both pieces out by making a whole brown square. Here. And keep hold of Ali's counter.
Okay, you may not believe it, but this demonstration isn't staged. I'm just being lucky to turn over a piece I can place easily. At least I don't have to give Danny another of my counters.
I'll try this piece. An orange and pink. I can't see an orange and pink right angle to put it in. Neither can I see a pink or an orange that I can swap it with. So I'm going to have to pass it with a counter to Ali.
I get asked if you always manage to place all the pieces during a game. All I can say is that I grew up with this game, and I can only remember one occasion when there was one piece left at the end that no one could place. So we called a stalemate. I'm just having a little play to see if there's anything I can do, but I can't see an orange or a pink space. So I think I'm going to have to give up another of my counters. I'll just try that. No, Danny gets another of my counters.
Ah, that was lucky. I can make a double pink. Sometimes when you play you can get a backlog of 4 or 5 pieces that nobody can place. And lots of counters are moved between players. Then someone turns over a piece, maybe does a bit of manipulation and swapping, and the backlog of pieces suddenly has somewhere to go.
I should point out that when you turn over a piece, you keep it open for everyone to see. This isn't a card game where you keep your hand a secret, and the game flows better if all the players can be looking for moves.
Yellow and brown. This video really hasn't been staged. When you play for yourselves, I can't guarantee it'll go like this demonstration has.
Yellow and green. This isn't very challenging at the moment.
Purple and yellow. So I need to find a way to perhaps get a blue that could go there. There are some swaps that I could do, but I can't see a position to put the piece in, so I'm going to have to pass the piece and a counter to Ali.
Before I turn over my piece, I just want to try out some moves I saw. I'll swap these 2 pieces so that I can put the orange and the green there. I I've seen something just by having a little play around to see where it takes me. I've noticed how I can get out. I'll swap this yellow and brown. Can you see how I'm going to get out yet? And I'll swap this green and brown and put the green here.
Ah, well done.
You don't always have to see 3 or 4 or 5 moves down the line. It's often worthwhile having a little play to see where it takes you. Sometimes you have to do quite a bit of manipulating to get rid of your piece. So now it's my turn to turn over a new piece, and this time I think Danny's going to get another of my counters and the piece.
This game will probably go on for another 40 minutes or so. I hope this demonstration has given you an idea of the game. When we've managed to place all the pieces, the winner will be the one with the most counters.
Well, I hope that's been useful. As you can see, Danny has beaten me fair and square.
Well, more luck.
The pattern does differ every time you play the game, and I hope you get a lot of pleasure from playing manipulation.